Something. I've been down the darkest roads and up in the clouds, but I've always felt that something's missing. That was until I found you right there in the crowd. You came into my life and started a fire. You made me feel like I could touch the sky. Oh, there's nothing missing now that you're my desire. Now all I have to do is to make you mine. 'Cause I know, and you know what we could be. Like a song, like a perfect melody. Baby, don't say you don't believe in me. 'Cause you know, and I know, we're onto something good. You know, and I know, we got something good.
All right. Well, welcome back, everybody. This is Kim, your host at Conversations with Kim Talk Show. I'm excited that I'm here with you today, and we get to talk about survival, home, car, and evacuation kit. You already know we're going to have some severe weather this year. It's going down. And we don't know if it's going to be another pandemic. Hey, Maria. We don't know if it's going to be another, biological event. We have no idea. Hey, Brenda. So we just need to be ready. We just need to be on top of it. And so I want to start with the car, because a lot of us just don't have what we need in our car. And for some reason, oh my God, Miss Tasha Thompson is in the house. Okay, so I'm going to stop greeting everybody because I'm going to get distracted. But, I'm so excited y'all here with me today. So let's talk about the car. So in your car, because we never know when a event's going to happen. We never know what's going to happen while we're out shopping. We could be stranded somewhere for a long period of time, whatever, So you need a flashlight in your car, okay? You need your a little miniature toolkit. Nothing great, but you never know. A little miniature toolkit, little small one. You need your spare and your jack. I cannot tell you how many times people are in their car and don't have a spare and a jack. So, in your car, you can just go on a ditch and be off-road. And if you're not knowing where you are, and you might get, whatever, y'all know stuff happen, don't play. So all of that can happen, and you need to be equipped in your car to deal with a situation if you have to wait for emergency services or wait for someone to come get you. So we got the flashlight, we got a little toolkit, we have our jack and spare tire. We also need what I don't know where to get these from. I think you can just Google it on or get it from Amazon. But the seat belt cutter and the window breaker, I think those are all like one little tool that you can cut the seat belt and break the window. Because if you're jammed in and your car door is jammed and you can't get out, you need to be able to break that window. And God forbid you go in under, thank you, Maria, the first aid kit. God forbid you go into some water. And so if you can't open the door, you need to be able to break that window and get out. Keep in mind, you need to have a flare or triangle. I always say both, because if you're on the side of the road changing your tire, I don't see people using that triangle as much as they need to. And it has to go back so many feet so that people coming around who's driving crazy, because, they do, that they will be able to know that there's something coming up and they can kind of make adjustments in their driving. An ice scraper. Now, down here in Florida, I'm not going to bring that up, that we don't necessarily need the ice scraper. But, for those of you that do, make sure you have that in the car. I say a blanket. Yes. Okay. So your headrest can be used to pull it off and smash the window. That's a good idea. Okay, so I didn't know that. Thank you for sharing that. You need a blanket in the car, in the trunk, because again, you don't know what's going to happen, and you need it. You need an umbrella. These are little bitty things that we need to have. Tissue, paper and pencil. And this is what you didn't think about. You need a change of clothes. I like to have at least one change of clothes. That's probably just a hoodie and some sweat and some old sweats. That's something that I don't necessarily wear on a regular basis. But if something happens and you're out there, you might need a change of clothes. You don't know. Of course, nowadays you need some extra masks. You need sanitizer, and you need a charging device. If nobody else is around to help you jump your own. So I do know they sell them almost everywhere now. QVC, HSN, I see them all the time on there. And you can just kind of get those and do the monthly payment situation if that's going to be a challenge for you. But, you need to get that too. So that's dealing with the car. Now, I don't know if you have any extra stuff that you want to put in there, but just having that one little side set aside in your trunk for those particular items, I promise you it's going to save you so much time if you need it. Now, let me just tell y'all this before I go to the next one. I have a friend who keeps like a golf club and a bat in his trunk. Now, I'm not saying that you need to do that. I don't have that. But he feels like if he is ever in a, situation or he needs to deal with something, yeah, Brenda, a whistle would be good too to have in the car so that if someone's trying to find you, that whistle will definitely come in handy. But he has that in there because nowadays, you just don't know. And if you're in some weird environment, it doesn't necessarily mean against another person. I mean, out here where I live, they have bear sightings, so yeah, I might need to swing that bat if I see a bear coming down the street and I'm, may have been tossed out of my car. I can get to the trunk and at least do something. So, y'all do what you need to do. But that's what I had for the car. Now, we're going to go to the home because the evacuation kit is very serious. And I want to save that for last because to me, the evacuation kit is always to what I call your go kit. And you need to have that like almost packed on a regular basis. So we'll end with the evacuation kit. But for your home, all right, y'all hear me scrambling over here, all this paper. So your home, what I'm saying is in the event that there is another order for us to stay at home for a pandemic, or we're going to be at home quarantine, there's some stuff that you should always have. You shouldn't eat your way down to your last little bit when you don't have anything. So canned goods. There should be a section of your pantry that's just in case. Keep it in mind of the expiration dates. We don't want to, eat any expired, canned goods, but there should be a side that's dedicated to that. So your canned goods, and in that you want your soup, your stew, your tinned fish and vegetables, stuff that if you had to, you could eat out the can. If you had to. You want your condiments. Your ketchup, mustard, mayonnaise, whatever y'all use, those are my three go-to. Whatever sauces that you make that you need, peanut butter and jelly, if that can go a long way. And then like my mom, like she likes to like buy bread and put it in the freezer. I can't stand bread out the freezer. It just grosses me out, but she does it. And, so if you have a deep freezer and you can put that in there, There you go, Maria. I didn't have it on my list, but you need to have the wine. And right, the sardines and the tuna for protein. That's what I mean when I say your tinned fish and stuff. You can eat that right out the tin. So the peanut butter and jelly, because that's always a good, sandwich, little filler upper. Your dry goods. So, you got your pasta, your beans, your cereal, your rice, your instant potatoes. All of that stuff will be considered, your dry goods that you can make a meal out of. You can stretch stuff out if you're able to cook. And then, of course, you want your beverages over there. You want your coffee, your tea, and your soda. I want to say this when I talk about soda, especially if you're drinking soda out of a can. I don't drink soda, but many people do. Be sure that you're washing the top off of your cans. Be sure that you're washing the top off of your cans. Rinse that off really good. Wash it off. Get all that stuff, yuck stuff. It's traveled. It's gone different places before it came to your house. Okay? So be mindful of that. And then you want to have your milk and alternatives. So, you might have condensed milk, powdered milk, coconut milk, soy milk, almond milk, all of that stuff. A lot of that stuff will sit on the shelf for quite a bit, a long period of time. They have a long shelf life. So those are things that you want to be mindful of. And then your hot cereal. You might need to make that into a meal sometimes. I don't know. But your oatmeal, your grits, cream of wheat. Some of y'all never heard of the cream of wheat, but I grew up on cream of wheat, so I threw it in there. And then, your freezer items. You might have the frozen juice concentrate, your frozen foods, which includes your meat, your fruit, your veggies, and then you all have your pre-made meals that are going to go in the freezer. I meal prep. I don't know if some of you have been following me. I know cream of wheat is the bomb, Brenda, but I don't know if some of you follow me, but I've taken meat out of my diet. So no pork, beef, chicken, goat, lamb, which are my favorites, deer, love that. But I don't eat that anymore. So I will eat seafood, sparingly, but for the most part, I'm eating fruits, vegetables, and legumes, your beans and stuff. And I got to tell you, I didn't know how I was going to make it, but I am making it. My blood work is like that of a teenager. Cholesterol is like so far off the charts. My doctor is like, you might want to give a workshop because your blood work is phenomenal. My cholesterol is down. I don't sleep as much, which is really weird to me. I don't know. It's just a lot of different things have changed with my body that I didn't realize would kind of be attached to me eating meat. So those are some of the things that, because I try to meal prep. So I might do a crock pot full of beans with vegetables in it, and then I'll put those in my little individual containers because, again, I don't eat as much now. And so I'll have a few of them in the refrigerator, but for the most part, I'm throwing that stuff in the freezer so that I may not want to eat that all week, but I still have a meal prep small container from a week ago or 2 weeks ago, and I'll pull that out and incorporate that into this week. So, those things kind of go a long way. So, having that information having those foods in the freezer already prepped definitely will come in handy in the event there's a stay-at-home order, some type of a pandemic that happens. Okay. And so then outside of food, you need to have in your little area. Now, don't use this stuff. This is for your preparation. You need to have your toilet paper. You need to have your tissue. You need to have liquid soap. You need to have, female sanitary items if there's someone in your home that, requires that. You need to have your bleach and your paper towels, your disinfectant and disposable gloves. So that's basically, to me, the high level overview of what to have at home. Surely there's stuff that's different for every house. I did not say snacks because, y'all know y'all not gonna keep them snacks on hand for a pandemic. You're gonna eat them. So and they never really run out during a pandemic. So, that's something you can get if you decide to, load up on chips and Doritos or whatever. But I didn't see those, that the shelf empty for those. They were plentiful. So, be sure that you have a area of your pantry dedicated to preparation, especially as we're going into the time of the year where there is going to be severe weather. And then we don't know about this whole double strand of COVID that's coming, and how what's going on overseas is going to affect the US, because that's basically where it started in the beginning. And so we're all, partying and excited that we know that we're not having to wear the mask now. And we're excited that we can kind of move around a little bit. But, you need to be careful and make sure that if something happens again, that you're ready. So this is the part that I think is going to be the most critical portion of my talk today. And I saved it for last, and this is the evacuation list. If for some reason you have to evacuate your home due to a natural disaster or some sort of a event that's happened in your particular area, these are the items that need to be in your go kit, because you don't know, number one, when you'll be able to come home, and you don't know if your home, what condition your home is going to be in when you get back. And I am saying that because I have worked for FEMA, and I have sat with people and cried with people who evacuated, and they thought it was just going to be a normal occurrence. So they grabbed their purse, they grabbed their dog, and they grabbed, a couple of days' clothes, only to find out that when they came back, their home was off the foundation. The entire home was gone. So no one is prepared for that in their psyche. No one. So I feel like you need to take what you need anytime you evacuate your home. So let's go over that list. If you are a homeowner, you need to take the house deed. If you are a renter, take a copy of your lease. Number one. Take all proofs of insurance, whether that is your home insurance, car insurance, life insurance, boat insurance, jewelry, whatever insurance you have, take a copy of it. And that includes your benefits as far as your health insurance, your dental insurance, eye insurance, having your card and your information. Take that with you. That goes with you. If you have a copy of your medical records at home, take that with you. Especially the names of your physicians and, how to reach them and, all of that. Have that on some sort of a list so that you can readily access that. If you have a passport, take that with you. Social Security cards, take that with you. any medications, all, whatever hygiene items that you need, your birth certificate, your cell phone and charger. This might seem like a lot, but when I tell you, I was working with the people that were affected by Katrina and Rita, and because the city was underwater, if they didn't have their birth certificate, if they didn't have their purse or their wallet or whatever, we don't know if they were airlifted out and they didn't have their purse, whatever. If they didn't have something to prove who they were, where they lived, and they were hoping to get it from the city, well, a lot of the city records were destroyed. So then where do you go? So when you think about it from that perspective, you definitely need to be able to prove who you are, what you have, and be able to show proof of that. Okay. So you need a little bit of extra cash. If you have a pet, bring your pet supplies. If you have a small child, baby supplies, and then this right here might be added to the car situation, but you want duct tape, scissors, gloves, towels, plastic bags, because if you're evacuating and if you don't have a place that you're going, you may not go to the shelter. You may just drive until you find a hotel, or you may end up staying with family or friends, but you still don't know what the situation is and how far that disaster is going to extend. So these are some things that you need to have on hand. So if you have a prescription for your glasses, if you have extra sets of glasses and you need them, some people have reading glasses and their regular glasses, bring all that stuff, your contact lenses. Make sure that you have your laptop and charger, and then, back up your laptop. And this is something to do before the evacuation, like, this week. Back up your hard drive onto a thumb drive, because what if you don't have room for the laptop? At least you have the information that's going to be on there. So if you don't take the laptop, you're, trying to type for space, at least you have the hard drive, the little drive, and the portable radio, and solar chargers. At least you have the drive and the thumb drive so that you can access your information. Take your credit cards, all of them. If you have them, take them. One of the things that I have seen in homes that are evacuated, that a lot of times they are also vandalized. I know it's rough and you're already going through something, but there's always somebody looking for an extra way to kind of do somebody wrong, and they'll vandalize the house. So take your stuff if you're evacuating. And I'm going to say this with all caution. Take any pictures or stuff that's irreplaceable memorabilia. If you have stuff that if it was, and I'm not saying go around the house and get all the pictures down. That's not what I'm saying. But some people do have artwork. Some people do have memorabilia in their homes that is worth quite a bit of money. So, I would suggest trying to find out how to condense that, maybe taking it out the frame and rolling it. I don't know, but keep that in mind, that that's something that you would want to take if you were evacuating. Of course, your clothes, and water, they suggest 3 gallons per person. Your marriage and divorce certificates, make sure you have them. Vehicle registration and ownership documents. And then, if you are a gun owner, take it. and your, ammo. Take that. Because when you think about this, you have a lot of valuables with you. And most people know that if you're evacuating, that you have a lot of valuables with you. So being able to protect yourself is definitely going to be a high priority. So please think that through. If you have government benefits, retirement, investment accounts, tax returns, batteries, battery powered radio, first aid kit, I know I'm naming a lot of stuff, but a lot of it is kind of documents, or you can perhaps scan it onto a thumb drive. And so you'll have access to it. No one's saying that you need a crate full of documents. But what I am saying is that you need to be able to access those documents, whether they're hard copy or electronic. So be sure that you are able to get that. Okay. And so those are the things that I am saying that you need to have if you evacuate, and perhaps maybe even a phone list, because if your phone goes dead and you're not able to recharge it right away, I know when I was younger, I knew everyone's phone number, but I don't know. I don't know nobody's phone number. So, I barely know my work phone number. So, so I feel like this is something that we need to seriously consider, and be sure that you are prepared in the event that something unfortunate or happens, in your immediate circle. So again, just to recap, in my last 3 minutes, we talked about the car and what should be in the car. And we had some suggestions on some things to add to that list. We also talked about what to have at home in the pantry, that's a ongoing situation, that you should have those items in your house at all times, so that you're not one of those people in panic mode if they say there's a stay-at-home order. You already have your starter kit, is what I like to call it. So be sure that you have that information there. And then as it pertains to your evacuation, or what I like to call your go kit, these things should be ready, because how much time do you think you're going to have if an evacuation order is given? A lot of times you have less than an hour, or sometimes you might have someone come into your home saying, we need you to leave now. And if you don't have your go kit, you don't have time to run around the house and making copies and getting stuff and doing all that and gathering documents or gathering your stuff. That's why I call it a go kit. So having that stuff electronically on a drive somewhere is definitely going to be a time saver. And then for those of you that are involved in this whole digital currency, cryptocurrency, you also need to be able to prove that you have what you have purchased. So, keeping a timely account of what you have in your wallet or on these various exchanges out there, a picture of what's in there, that the coins that you have purchased, that's going to definitely come into play, because if there's a power grid outage, and that means the exchange is down, that means that Wall Street is down, your stocks are down, the bank is down, whatever, then you definitely would need to be able to prove what you had, even in your bank account. So listen, we are down to my last 30 seconds. Thank y'all so much, especially the people that I haven't seen in the village in a while, or haven't seen in the village ever. Thank you so much for joining us today. And just remember that silence creates distance, but conversations with Kim builds the village. Thank you and bye-bye.